Anyone can show you how to do a kick, but not everyone is going to show you how to develop a kick. Let's learn how to develop a front kick. To get started, we're going to need a couple things. Number one, we're going to need to know how the technique works. And then number two, we're going to need to know how the body functions to facilitate the technique. Once we get all of that out of the way, then we can develop some exercises that will allow us to develop the technique. This front kick is going to be fairly simple. So our contact surface is going to be the ball of the foot. We're going to have a little bit of muscle activation on the calf and on the quad. And of course, the pelvis is going to be tilted forward and the back is going to be a little bit rounded. So they'll have this type of shape. And wherever the foot that you're standing on is pointing is generally where the kick is going to be aimed. It can kind of point out to the side a little bit, but in general, wherever your toe is pointing, wherever you're facing, that's where the kick is going to go. So, like so. And here's where we start to develop the kick. Warm-ups are pretty simple. I generally recommend jumping jacks, right? Just working on that contact surface, warming up the body, and then from there, we do some high knees. Again, working on that contact surface. And then from there, we do butt kicks. Again, working on that contact surface, the ball of the foot. Once the major muscle groups are warmed up, I recommend doing something like tiger curls. It's a more complex series of movements that open up the hips. And there, pushing up. Boom. And this can be an exercise in and of itself, but it works pretty well. And so that's why I recommend it. Now that the warm-up is out of the way, we can jump into the exercise. Now the first exercise that I recommend would be frog jumps. So starting out on the balls of your feet, and all you do is just jump up and control your descent back down and catch yourself and go back down. And just repeat. And this simulates the impact that you would experience while performing the kick on someone. The next exercise is a little bit more complex. So what we'll do is simulate almost a crescent kick, but it's going to be more steep. And so what I want to focus on is tucking my pelvis, rounding my back, and just getting my foot up as high as possible as my pelvis sinks to the lowest point. So my foot is at the highest point as my pelvis is at the lowest, like that. Okay, and I just move back and forth in alternating feet. So again, one more time. And once I get the hang of that and I've trained myself to get that low point and that high point synced up as much as possible, then I can start to kind of get that toe action with the calf going and my quad. So I'll show that. Again, it's a very precise timing. So for the exercise, I always recommend just focusing on getting those two parts synced up, the tucking of the pelvis and elevating the foot to the highest point, flexibility. And then once that's achieved and it's consistent, then focus on getting that little burst of energy that comes out. Now, as a bonus, I'm also going to show this exercise, and this is going to help to develop your quad strength and your calf when it comes to transmitting that power. So again, you can be explosive with your front kick, but in order to sustain that strength, you need to be able to stabilize and hold that position. So all you need to do is just to hold your leg up, lift it up and hold it. And if you want to get your calf engaged, you can also do that as well. And just sit there and hold for anywhere between 15, 30 seconds. Do it in intervals, then relax. Switch over, do the other side, and just hold. And keep those muscles engaged so that when you go to do your kick, you're able to not only explode, but sustain the force that you generated. Now, keep in mind that thematically, a front kick is a front kick. Whenever you see it, you know it. However, there are different muscle groups, and there are different sequences in which we can activate muscle groups and different types of alignment that we can structure with our body. So there are different types of front kicks. And so people are going to have more than one option or more one way of developing a front kick. So I'd like you to keep that in mind, that all I'm showing is my method, my snake fist method for developing this very particular type of front kick and the result that it generates. So that being said, thank you for watching, and stay safe out there.